The room is quiet now. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that settles after a long storm when everything is still standing yet nothing feels the same. You're sitting in the middle of it all, surrounded by moments that once felt too heavy to carry, expectations that pressed down like thick clouds, questions about the future that stretched endlessly like a road disappearing into fog. And somehow, you're still here. There was a time when you looked at yourself and saw something fragile, like a candle placed too close to an open window, trembling every time that the wind passed through. You thought the next gust might be the one that finally blew you out. It bends, it flickered. Sometimes it bent so low you could barely see it, yet it never went dark. There were moments when the weight of everything sat on your chest like stone, when breathing felt heavier than it should, when the future stopped looking like possibility and started looking like pressure. You searched for answers in the quiet, staring at the ceilings at night, replaying conversations, replaying results, replaying the same question over and over again. What now? The world kept moving forward, while you stood in the middle of uncertainty, feeling like everyone else has already been given a map. You felt like you were walking through fog, but fog has a strange way of hiding progress. It makes you believe you haven't moved, even when your feet has been taking steps the entire time. You called it being behind, but maybe you were never behind at all. Maybe you were just in the part of the story where the roots grow, because seeds do the important work underground when no one can see them, in the darkness, in the pressure, in the quiet moments where it feels like nothing is happening, yet beneath the surface something is slowly unfolding. This is what you were doing, unfolding. Even when disappointment wrapped itself around your shoulders like a heavy coat you couldn't take off, even when doubt spoke louder than encouragement, even when the path ahead looked less like a road and more like an unfinished sketch, you kept breathing, you kept waking up, you kept moving, even when the stress of everything weighed down on you. And that kind of strength rarely makes noise. It doesn't come with applause or celebration. It doesn't announce itself. It simply stays, like a lighthouse during a storm, standing quietly while waves crash around it, gilding ships it will never see. There were moments when your thoughts circled like restless birds, repeating the same fears over and over again. They tried to convince you that you weren't enough, that you had disappointed people, that your future you imagined was slowly slipping away. You listened, of course, you did. Anyone would. But somewhere inside you, beneath the noise, there was still a quiet voice that refused to disappear, a voice that whispered something smothered, that you could barely hear it. It said, "Keep going." Even when you didn't know where going would lead, you kept going. You kept holding on to pieces of hope that way, of course. The way someone holds on to light in a dark room carefully, gently, protecting it from the wind. Because hope, even when it's small, is still light. In light, it has a strange way of surviving darkness. Right now, you might feel like an unfinished sentence, paused somewhere in the middle, unsure of what the next word should be. But unfinished does not mean broken. It means the story is still being written. It means this chapter, confusing as it may be, is not the end of the page. You are still in your becoming era. Yes, you are. You're becoming stronger in ways no one applauds, becoming wiser in ways that only quiet storms can teach. Becoming someone who can stand in uncertainty and still believe that something good waits ahead. You once thought you might not make it through the weight of all of this, but here you are, still breathing, still hoping, still standing, not perfectly, not without doubt, not without the scars of everything you carried, but standing nonetheless. And something that is the bravest thing a person can do. To stay, to keep the flame alive, even when the wind insists it shouldn't be possible. To move forward, even when the road is hidden in fog. To move forward, even when there is uncertainty. To believe, even if only a little, that the story is not finished yet. Because it isn't. Not even close. And the girl sitting right here, in this quiet moment after the storm, is a living proof that you can do it. a love letter to myself.